Hello, everyone. It's Kirsten Foss here. I'm just going to make sure that everything is running as it should. There we go. Wonderful. My name is Kirsten Foss, and here we are on Thursday. I'm a little early for my usual Thursday spa business break, but it's for a reason. So 2 weeks ago, tomorrow, this might be a little bit of an emotional Facebook Live. My son was in a very, very serious car accident not far from my house, and we were able to get on scene and be with him. But it was a very serious car accident, and he had a ruptured spleen, which is life-threatening, and a very bad concussion, broken ribs, and fractured pelvis in a couple of spots. So, a horrible situation, a horrible call to have to get, and not what I would wish on any parent. Hey, Lenora. And so I've been off for a couple of weeks, and the reason why I wanted to come on today was to just to share a few things that I've learned out of this crisis. And even though it's still fairly fresh and I'm probably speaking from the wound rather than the scar, I feel like it's important information because it still feels very raw, and I'm very grateful for a few things that I've done this past year to set myself up so that my business can still run while I need to be off work taking care of my son. So he had his spleen repaired. He's going to be okay. He's in a wheelchair until his pelvis heals. So he's in a wheelchair for another 5 weeks. He's home finally. The situation was harder compounded by COVID because of course they don't allow visitors into the hospital. So he's 18, and although he's 18, it's pretty hard when you have to be in the hospital by yourself. So not only was he, in pain and not feeling great, but he had to be by himself for the most part in there. So it's been a really, really stressful couple of weeks for all of us. And I guess the first thing that I wanted to share was the fact that the reason why I was able to, hey, Mike, oh, thank you. Before I get into kind of what my kind of two things that I feel like I've learned, I really, really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to those of you that reached out to me, both on my personal page, those of you that are friends with me on Facebook, and reached out in a private message even. A lot of times I couldn't respond back because I was just, I was overwhelmed with just dealing with my son and all that was going on. But it made me feel so loved and so cared about from you guys as a community. Thanks, Megan. You were definitely one of those mamas that it meant a lot to my heart and to my family that you reached out. So the first thing that I'll share, and that has to do with kind of thanking all of you that have been supportive for myself and my family, was that when people offer you help, when you need it, take it. Take the help. I have been a leader my whole life. I've been a doer my whole life. I've always been the one to step in and help when it's needed, to offer help. And it's not so easy for us that do that to accept help, right? And so it's a big lesson for myself in terms of I don't always have to be the strong one. I don't always have to be the one doing. And that especially in times like this when I really need to be with my family, I have to. For my own sanity, to help get us through this as a family, I have to be able to be okay with accepting help. So the kind of help that came was everything from just thoughts and prayers and sending energy and Reiki to Matthew, that was my first priority. On the way to the hospital, we didn't know what we were going to meet there. And I posted on Facebook. At first I thought, do I want to share this? But then I thought, no, I need to get it out in terms of like, Matthew needs everybody's love and energy and their thoughts going to him, because I know the power of prayer. I'm not a religious person, but I'm definitely a spiritual person. And I know the power of prayer. I know the power of sending energy and focusing our hearts on somebody that really needs it. And I am convinced that our community, between my husband and myself, between our personal networks and our professional networks, local, national, international, I feel very, very confident that all of that energy has been helping Matthew to heal, because he is healing at a rapid rate. He's young, he's 18, so he's got that going for him. He's got the fact that he's kind of a smaller guy, so that actually helped him in the accident. He got T-boned by a Denali, so a big SUV with a little 2001 Ford Focus. And I truly feel like allowing, putting it out there that I need you, my family needs you, putting it out there really, really helped him in his recovery. And it really helped us as a family. We've had muffins dropped off and cookies. We've had meals dropped off. We actually haven't had to make a meal since this happened. The last thing I felt like doing is cooking. I probably would have just had bagels and cream cheese to keep me going. I actually didn't really eat much for the first 5 days. I couldn't. So, in terms of what I want to share with you, if you do end up having to go through some sort of crisis, and Lord knows, it just feels like it's kind of nonstop right now, with what's going on in the world, is even though as entrepreneurs you are used to doing and being the one in charge and being the one organizing things, there will be a time when you need to accept that help. And I'm here just to remind you, if you hear my little voice in your head, if you end up going through a crisis, I want you to hear me. Accept the help. Accept the help. People want to help. It makes them feel good. It helps us to move through whatever crisis we're going through. So accept the help, whatever it is. At first, my husband and I were like, no, it's okay. We don't need meals. But then we're realizing we're all a hot mess. And yeah, that would be really, really helpful. Now, the second thing I want to share with you, as far as a lesson I learned in this, is that I am so grateful, and most of you guys have been hearing me beat the drum for so long about creating systems, creating systems, creating systems. For the past year, I've been myself and my manager, Delia, so I hired her last September. For the past year, we have been developing systems in our business, client systems, team systems, like workflow systems, management systems, and Delia has been doing an amazing job. And what the situation allowed for was me to literally be able to dump everything that was on my list to do, any responsibilities for work. It just went to Delia. And she was already set up for that. So it was a fairly smooth transition. She was like, yeah, got it, no problem. I put an out of office reply on my email and said any client concerns or product concerns, like downloadables off the website, I forward it to Delia. She can take care of that. And with all of our existing clients that we work with social media and blogging and email, I didn't necessarily have to be on strategy calls, those monthly marketing strategy calls. So it gave me a huge peace of mind that my business is still running. Our clients are happy. They're getting the outcomes that they need, even though I need to be completely out of my business for a period of time. It would have been so much more stressful. I know our clients would have been very gracious because, all of them have said family's family, they're first. But, as an entrepreneur, you also know that you don't want to do that to your clients. So I am absolutely 100% grateful for the work that both Delia and I have put into creating these client systems and team systems for us. because they absolutely allowed me to just drop everything and focus on my son. So just reading Mike's, don't worry. We're here giving you strength behind the scenes. Absolutely. Mike, I felt it. I felt every single comment on my posts on my personal page giving updates about Matthew. Yeah, it's been pretty overwhelming in terms of just realizing how vast and how wide the support was for myself and my family. So I want to thank all of you for that help, those loving, kind words, the supportive words. I know many of you felt like your hands were tied and you wanted to do more, but you did exactly what I needed and what my family needed. And I very, very much appreciate that. I very much appreciate you. And man, what a community we have. It's also made me realize that we can't do this without each other. And I mean this, I just mean life in general. I mean in our business in general. We're not meant to do this all alone. I feel like, for a long, long, long time, entrepreneurs, and especially female entrepreneurs, were expected to just handle it all, do it all. And it's a lot. It's too much to do it all. And so we want to be able, we need this community. So if one of us falters and needs to rest, people can come in and support, and whatever way that looks like. Aw, thanks, Megan. Heather, aw, thank you that you've been thinking about us. Yeah, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna make a full recovery. Scared the shit out of all of us. I never want to be in that situation again. And I just feel deeply for all of the families that can't be with their loved ones in the hospital, whether they have COVID or whether they're sick or struggling with something else. I can't imagine not being able to say goodbye to your loved one. So, COVID has made this whole any kind of our healthcare situation even that much harder for families. So if you have a family member that's in the hospital or some sort of care facility, I'm feeling for you. It's really, really tough. And there's only so much, phone calls and FaceTime that you can do. We need human connection. We need to be with our loved ones. So that is my Facebook Live for today. Thanks, Megan. Just reading Crystal, sending you all love and prayers. Thank you. Your mom is in the hospital, Mike? Oh, it's awful. It's so, so, so hard it goes against everything. And especially, with us in the service industry in terms of we're so connected with people. Most of us are very, very heart-centered, very and empathic. And so not being able to be with your loved one is just absolutely heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. Well, thanks, Denise. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm going to go back to work next week, just on light duty. I've kind of restricted phone calls and coaching calls and stuff like that. I feel very, very, very tired. And I think I'm just going to feel tired for a little while. That was a real fright that we had. And, you just go on mama mode. You go on mama bear mode. You do whatever it takes. It was a little bit of a struggle at first. This happened on Friday of the long weekend. And, we were supposed to get victim services support. We were supposed to have support with social worker in the hospital, but both of those supports, we fell through the cracks. And needed to use our personal networks to back channel to get some support. So it was a lot, and we needed to be full on focused on getting him the proper care and making sure that he felt loved and that he's not just been left there. And I'll probably need to have a kind of little bit more light duty over the next couple of weeks, but I just wanted to share my appreciation with all of you in our community, that it has absolutely made a difference for myself and my family in terms of just how dealing with this whole process. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. And I might be here next Thursday for Facebook Live. I have to look at my September marketing because it kind of got tossed out the window. Oh, then the other piece as far as systems that I had was at least all of my social media was pre-done. So if you notice some posts coming out that sound like, oh, my upcoming Facebook Live, I just haven't had a chance to go in there and change them. So Thursday Facebook Lives might be a little bit hit and miss, but I'll make sure that you know when they're going to be on if I am going to be here. Thank you, Shannon. I really do feel that I am being held. I feel like our family has been held. It's been pretty amazing, for sure. Thank you, Rebecca. I knew this was going to be an emotional one. All right, I need to get a couple of things done for Matthew today. I'm making a big pot of homemade spaghetti sauce from our tomatoes that are in the garden. And I'm going to make a lasagna. It's the first meal I've made, and I feel like doing some cooking and just kind of, stirring the pot and putting all sorts of love in there. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you again on a Thursday Facebook Live.